The New York Football Giants have made a trade, sending the 100th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft to the Las Vegas Raiders for tight end Darren Wallen. John Schmeelk, Paul Dottino with you. And Paul, it's all brought to you by Primepoint. A big trade for the Giants. This was the draft pick that they acquired from the Kansas City Chiefs in the Kadarius Toney trade earlier in the year. A third-round pick. Now they turn it around for a playmaker in Darren Wallen.
Waller's 6'6", 255 pounds. He will become the biggest receiving threat at tight end the Giants have had since Jeremy Shockey. A guy who has had two 1,000-yard seasons, has one 100-yard catch year, another 90-catch year, and when you consider the fact that he is a guy who will also play the big slot very, very often, John, that's where he specializes in, you're going to be able now to mix him with Daniel Bellinger in a two tight end set, and you have to wonder if the Giants are now thinking that he becomes that 1,000-yard receiving threat that they've been after now for the better part of a few months. Maybe they don't go get a 1,000-yard receiver. Maybe Wallen is their 1,000-yard threat.
Yeah, those two 1,000-yard seasons, Paul, coming back in 2019 and 2020. He's missed some games the last couple of the years, which has brought his stat numbers down a little bit. But you mentioned it. Giants, they might call 12 personnel. There might be a TE next to Darren Waller's name in the program. He's a big receiver.
Yes, he is, and he averaged about 14 yards a catch last season, which was his career high. For his career, he's averaged about 12 yards a catch, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, within a fraction. But this is a guy who will make plays downfield. And several of his years, he had 6, 7, 8, 9 touchdown catches too. So you're going to be able to get to him in the red zone. We talked about his length and his height. So this guy is a dangerous weapon.
Yeah, over 11 yards per catch in each of his last 5 seasons. He's not a possession, short-range type of tight end. This guy is a deep threat down the seam on those deep crossing routes. He is a weapon in the passing game and immediately becomes, Paul, one of the Giants' most explosive weapons on offense.
Oh, there's no question. And when we talk about headache players, or at least I like to talk about those guys who give opposing coordinators trouble, Darren Wallen is a guy you have to match up with. A lot of teams, Parcells years ago against Shockey used a corner to man up on Shockey. There are teams that will man up a corner on Darren Wallen. He's that dangerous.
Yeah, he's going to turn 31 years old in September. And, Paul, we've talked about the Giants having to add weapons. A lot of people talked about a wide receiver. Well, the free agent market at wide receiver wasn't the strongest. The drafted wide receiver, not the strongest. This shows the flexibility of the front office and the coaching staff. All right, we need a weapon. If we can't find the receiver, just add a tight end.
You heard me mention Jeremy Shockey before. I remember when Shockey was here and the Giants had Dan Campbell, who was the workman-like tight end number 2 on that team. I'm seeing a similar thing here. Wallen and Bellinger, Shockey and Campbell. Very similar setup between the Giants' top 2 tight ends on the roster.
And remember, Brian Dable, a longtime tight end coach with the Patriots, when they had both Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez there again. Receiver blocker. And Mike Kafka had a pretty good tight end in Kansas City, right? Oh, yeah, Travis Kelce might be the best tight end in football.
Heard of him.
So these coaches on offense will know how to use Darren Wallen and get the most out of him. He's Paul Dottino. I'm John Schmeelk. Thanks for being with us. It was all brought to you by Primepoint. The Giants have traded for Darren Wallen.